All right, so today we're changing out my rear wheel bearings, and I just wanted to look at the existing ones, and they look pretty good. I mean, they got grease in there, it's not showing any kind of problems. Got 24K on the bike, and I'm just trying to, I want to just do it because I've been wanting to learn to do it and be able to do it. So, yeah, these are the actual bearings that come with these rims. So this is an aftermarket rim. And these are the bearings that come, and they appear to be like the stock ones. So we'll see. So while doing this, I inspect the spokes. So I clean the rim and inspect the spokes. They look all good. And this is what the what it looks like. You know, and it looks like the bearing will fit. The cushion is a little bit different than the stock. I don't know if it takes the stock ones or not, because I haven't gotten those. This is what they look like, and they look smaller than the stock ones, but they're in good shape. All right, so the new bearing fit in pretty good. Yeah, I'm totally happy with it, and it definitely spins a lot freer than the bearings I pulled out. So I'm glad I'm changing them. So there you go. That's the stock Honda bearing for this location. So I got this bearing in. It went fairly easy. Got everything aligned up and looking good. Next is going to be the bushings. I mean, the seals, and then the spacers, and then she's ready to mount. It's fairly a simple job if you got the tools. So I'm using this Motion Pro. So it fits right in there, and then you just tap that bearing in. So that works fairly well. All right, onto the seals. All right, so the seal went in fairly easy. No issues there. So we're happy with that. Okay, so here's where things change. So for this hub, this is the hub that comes with the rim, is nowhere close to being stock. So the only thing that fits on it so far that's stock is the sprocket. But you can see, I don't know if you can see, there's two bearings in there. It's a double bearing. You can see the size of the hole is a lot bigger than the size of the hole. This is the size of the axle, and this is the size of the bushing. So this bushing goes on the inside, and then you have your other bushing that goes on the outside. So I need to find two bearings of this size for when I want. I'm not going to replace them now because I don't have them. They seem to be in very good shape, so I've tested them as far as just the way they're rolling and the way they feel. And being there's two of them, that's pretty good, and that's on the hub. So we're just going to have to roll with these until I can find some new ones and replace them. So I'm trying to get the numbers, but I'll figure that out. All right, so the next difference is in the seal. So this seal right here is 55 millimeter outside, and this is 56 and change. So they definitely don't fit. I think I remember having that problem. So you can almost see when you overlay it, it completely covers this beveled lip, the silvery stuff you see right here. So I'm going to have to find this seal and replace that along with the bearings eventually. So you can see how that other bushing from the other side fits in. That's this bushing right here. So it's a completely different system than the stock Honda. So that's the only thing to consider when you're getting these rims. But I think if I can find those two bearings and find the seal, then that's not an issue. We'll have to see about the cush bearings. But yeah, so this seal was fairly, I had replaced this seal once already. No, this is the stock seal. So I'm going to try and look this up and see if I can find something similar to this. All right, so we'll check the rollout without the calipers. And it's what you would expect without the calipers. I mean, it kind of stops and wants to come back, so that's a good sign. So the bearings feel good. Feels very tight. There's no wiggle or woggly. So we'll go ahead, we're gonna remove them anyways, just because, yeah, we wanna see if we need more parts for this one. All right, so we pulled the front tire. You can see how grimy this is. What I like about these spacers that came with this, they have a little lip on them on the inside. It makes them, they won't fall out on you like the stock ones. You can leave them in when changing a tire and so on, because they're not going to fall out. So you got to pull them out. So let's take a look. That seal looks pretty grimy. I'm hoping they're the same size as my. All right, so here you can see this is the stock bushing, and this is the one that comes with these rims. It's quite a bit bigger, so you can't use this one because the spacing will be off. And you can see that little ridge right there? That little ridge is what holds it in, which is nice, because these, you just put them in, they can just fall out. All right, so here's the seal, and you can see it's shot. There's pieces of rubber. You can see the spring has come loose. So those seals are shot. I'm really hoping that the stock ones fit. Yeah, these are shot. You can see all the little pieces, and down in here in the spring, and there's debris and so on. So those definitely need to be changed. Hopefully we have the right sizes. All right, so it looks like they're the same size. They're definitely, they're like they're just as deep as those, so I'm gonna have to pull that one and find out. All right, so here's the bearing that came out of the out of those wheels, aftermarket, and they feel good. I don't see any play or issues, and I don't think I need to open them up. I opened up the other ones, and they were just fine. So, and they're the same size as the stock ones, so that's a good thing. They're going to fit. So we're going to go ahead and install the stock ones. See how that goes. All right, so this bushing doesn't look too bad, or seal, whatever you want to call it. But we're going to pull it and pull the bearing on this one too. All right, so it looks pretty clean. No issues here. It's ready for the bearing, so we'll go ahead and install that one. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just grease this up a little bit. Just a tiny film. We'll wipe most of it off. Yeah, so far these have been going in great. And that Motion Pro kit, yeah, well worth it. You know, I got 2 bikes, so they seat in pretty well, just right off the bat. And we'll take our tool. That's that sound you want to hear. Right, moment of truth. So it looks like we're in business. All right, these are already greased up. Or we'll do the old-fashioned way. We'll try and just press it in. There it goes. All right, so we just press that in. We like it. So the other side has a groove on it, and I'm not totally sure what that groove is, but it's got grease in it. It's probably just that, a grease groove. We'll see. Just cleaning this out. A little bit of grease is okay. Just want to make sure there's no debris in there. Get this all cleaned up before we. All right, I'm liking it. You can't forget the spacer, so we always gotta always remember to put your spacer in. The only thing I don't like about this spacer because it's got a sharp edge. It's got a sharp edge right there. I don't think that really matters because it's not rubbing up against anything. But if I wasn't so lazy, I'd go put it on the lathe and I would take that off. I could just use a file too. But I don't think that's necessary. There's our bearing. A little bit of grease. So it almost looks like the, yeah, I'm not sure what that lip is and whether that's something that's standard. I'd have to go back and look because I'm pretty sure this is not the stock spacer, but it may be. They may have, I can't remember when I install. I have to go back and look at my video. All right, so let's go ahead and get this one in. Probably should have waited to put the seal on, but there it goes. All right, so that gives us some alignment. Good. And our bolt fits, so everything's aligned. All right, bearings in. Now it's just left is the, you can see, bearings in, nice and centered. And we'll go ahead and put in the second bushing, or seal. I keep calling it a bushing, it's sealed. These ones from Honda already come with grease inside them, so you don't really have to do much except press them in. And they fit really nice. Nice and snug and even. Looks good. And then again, these are the stock, which actually just not the same thickness. You can see, let's see if we can get that. You can see that one is bigger than this one's bigger. So we'll clean this up. I just use a little degreaser, get all the grime and gook out of the groove. Yeah, because it's got a little groove, so you want to get that. And that's that groove. I mean, it serves two purposes. One, it holds grease, but it also keeps the keeps it from falling out. All right, so we're going to use a little Scotch-Brite to clean up some of the stains and get it nice and clean. I don't think they need to replace. There's no groove short of just staining. So there you go, nice and cleaned up. Okay, so the stock bearings fit this wheel and the stock bushings fit this wheel. It's only that hub for the rear wheel that's off a little bit. All right, we'll go flip and do the other side. So the bushings themselves are the same. They're just taller, and they got that groove, which I actually like the groove. So we're just cleaning them up with a little 3M product here. It's not like sandpaper where it's going to gouge it and groove it. It's just getting the dirt and grime off it that's kind of like seared into it. All right, please. We want to make sure we fill that little cavity there, and then we'll pump it in. Yep, goes right in. Perfect. All right, so we got them done. We got both wheels. Have new bushings except for the hub. Well, actually, this one, no, not a new bushing, so I've got to find that one. But this new bushings and bearings, and this is for the, gosh, what am I going to call it? XWA. But I'll post the link. Got them off of eBay. Really nice rims. Uh, I just wish that the sizes were compatible 100%. The front is, the rear isn't, just because of the seals on that side and the hub on the other side, and the hub seal I think is okay. Anyways, so that's it for these wheels.